invite on stage Shree HARSHA. He is the Global Business Services Industry Strategy Director.
Good afternoon, everyone. So glad to be here with you today. Can I get my slides, please? Thank you. It's been an interesting morning since you've been hearing about application of virtual twins for product, process, and the various applications around life sciences, healthcare, and manufacturing. What a fantastic presentation you saw from startups today on the application of virtual twins. Interestingly, if you really see the last pitch, it's about hydrogen. And that also tells you the evolution in India, the shift happening in the investments in infrastructure. I'll deep dive to the topic of logistics. Logistics costs more of 13% of the world GDP. And in India is one of the highest logistics costs worldwide. We have around 14 to 15% of the cost of logistics in India spent on that. So what does it mean in terms of cost? Right from shipping these raw materials from mines to ports and to the factories and to the finished goods coming onto the distribution centers and back to mine and your doorsteps with Amazon or any other people, delivering it all together. There's a lot of CO2 emissions, direct CO2 emissions, which logistics is consuming. But while this is all happening, government has invested in a large project called as Gati Shakti. Many of you have heard about it. It has got 7 levers of engine of growth for infrastructure. It starts with railways, wherein 70 to 80% of goods will be shipped through railways across India. Roads, there's more than 100,000 kilometers of roads getting done as we're speaking. Ports, waterways, mass transport systems, as well as logistics infrastructure for better delivery of goods. What does it tell you? That by 2047, basically, by the 100 years of Indian independence, we want to really be a developed economy with a lot of investments in infrastructure. So the projects around Bharatmala, Sagarmala, all of this is creating a wealth of opportunities for new startups, which are going to really find new solutions for the Indian problems. And that's where we want to really partner. Because if you really see the 6 key pillars of Gati Shakti, it all starts with an integrated planning approach with multi-department, providing visualization in terms of what's going wrong, what's going right, having a seamless, a synchronized approach of working, and having a single source of information so that we are not repeating the mistakes across different departments and largely need dynamic interventions because the world out there is not going to be perfect. There will be challenges, there will be disruptions. How are we going to react to all of that? With that, thanks to Deepak, thanks to Victoire and Frederick Varshay and Sohas, we conceptualized a new hackathon in India exclusively for serving the needs and finding solutions. And the hackathon is named as Sustainable Logistics Virtual Twin of Operations. What is this all about? We want to provide an opportunity to build and conceptualize the new India. The new India wherein we are having solutions around end-to-end goals in terms of all of these companies which are investing right now with a lot of CapEx investments and finding local solutions. As many of the senior leaders, customers said, you want to go first time right. Is there a way we provide virtual twins in these directions to learn from the real world, the IoT data, what's happening in the demand and the forecast, and then build the virtual world and do it right the first time across the strategic, tactical, and at an operational level of execution. The ultimate aim is really to be able to provide a platform to be able to build the Indian infrastructure in a much more methodic, sustainable manner with less resources consumption altogether. What is the key steps, what we are looking at in this whole journey is we want to launch this hackathon for the next 3 months. October, November, December, Jan is where we are really working with the startups, academia, and the people who are in the core operational research domain, find solutions to the Indian problem with the key domain to really adopt and galvanize the technology adoption in the infrastructure domain and in the logistics cost reduction domain, because we believe the humongous amount of resources will be spent. And if you really see the issues with Indian infrastructure projects, 50% delays, cost overruns, all because of the bad planning as such. And that's where we want to really see if we can enhance the skill of adoption of technology, just like the way we did for life sciences and healthcare in the infrastructure domain. The project will have 4 phases. The first phase will have an idea challenge in which we are going to source ideas from the startups which are upcoming in this particular domain. We want to filter, run past this idea with our experts and mentors, give them our software, training, coaching, mentoring for 6 weeks, and have them build an MVP, a minimum viable product, wherein they show us the solutions and how it can be solving the local problems. As we believe that if you don't solve the local community problems, you can't really build that trust on what virtual twins can really make and how they can help the local community. Followed up with is the pitch challenge. They are going to pitch these solutions with the industry experts. And lastly, we're going to pick the top 3 of them and mentor them for 1 year through our 3D Experience Lab. And I'm really happy to tell you that some of the use cases are really aligned with the local problems. So the first and foremost is network design. We're building large facilities, warehouses, yards, pan-India. And the cost of these infrastructure investments are not in millions, they're in billions. Imagine the possibility of applying virtual twins there, number 1. Number 2, the scope 1, 2, 3 emission calculations. There's a lot of apps which are coming out. There are ways to really build that value chain. Is there a way you can find solutions to the local problems? Also, bio-based packaging. Many people talked about that. Can we find some local solutions? Control tower. Imagine the possibilities of having a track and trace of all of the shipments, being visible in terms of what is the best mode of transportation pan-India. Is there a way we can be more predictive and prescriptive in terms of what's going wrong, looking at the real-time information of the maps and find some local solutions altogether. And lastly, the logistics operational twin. This is the dream of building an entire renewable sourced run warehouse where it is zero emission building, as we call it as, and there's a lot of people who are investing already in this space. Is there a way we can find local solutions? And last but not least is the IoT, automation, and the AI and ML layer as well. And this is where about the demand forecasting, problems with artificial intelligence, and is there a way we can apply these data-driven decisions using virtual twins altogether? With that, we are not conceptualizing these problems within Dassault Systems. We have an eminent jury, a CEO of logistics company, Mr. K. Kubwami is there, Dr. Chandan Chowdhury, who is the Dean of Indian School of Business, one of the largest business schools in India, and he teaches operations management. We have Prashant Kamath from Infosys. So, and also people, Mr. Kiran Nair, who is basically the CTO and the VP of Adani Logistics, who are actually being part with us in defining these use cases, helping us build these proto solutions, verifying, validating, and mentor. So this is the direction where we are going. Watch out on our social media updates. Thanks to Nitika and the team. In 1 week from now, you will hear announcements of how you can apply for this. So be ready with the pitch sessions. And we are going beyond from manufacturing and life science and healthcare in infrastructure in India. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.